Today on Subs and Dubs Reviews, I review the entire spring season! Or at least a good portion of it because I had nothing but time on my hands. So hide your lolly yuri tsundere emotos, I'm coming for you, no holds barred! I'm honestly really sad to say that Captain Earth has, well, for the most part, been fairly disappointing. I was really hoping for this to be a rise to greatness from Bones and their team. From what we've been shown, I'm really doubting we're going to get anything really groundbreaking here. Other than the first few episodes that were admittedly not very original, they were still totally enjoyable. And that transformation sequence that they showed off, oh, it's gorgeous. Here's to hoping that we get something amazing at its conclusion. But I'm not going to hold my breath for that. Isn't that right, Akari? Haha! If you're a fan of the first season, feel free to go ahead and continue watching Data Live 2. If you're wondering if you should watch it, be my guest, but it's the last thing that I'd recommend to someone this season. If you want to know what I'd recommend from this season, let's talk about this next show. Okay, if you haven't been watching Chaika, you really should be. The worst part about the show is that it feels like Bones is kind of ignoring Chaika in comparison to the level of polish that Captain Earth has on it. And it's really frustrating because other than the fact that Chaika has one thing most every show has been missing from the start of the season: consistency. Say it with me, class. Consistency. One more time. I don't think I heard everyone. Consistency.
Chaika.
Okay, very good, class. Now for your homework, I want you to go ahead and watch all 12 episodes of Chaika and have a report in my comment section by week's end. You're all dismissed. So, I'm not really interested in telling you why this is bad. I feel like, you should be able to see why this is bad from the description. It's Gonzo being Gonzo, so that's a thing. But yeah, I'm just gonna leave it. I'm just gonna leave it at that.
Just say.
I don't have anything to say about this one. Can you come back to me a little later? Oh yeah, before I forget, Fairy Tail came back, if you care. I don't watch Fairy Tail. Haikyu's not quite finished yet, but so far Haikyu is enjoyable. But it's nowhere near the awesomeness that Kuroko no Basuke has, and I don't quite enjoy the idea of volleyball, and that's putting a damper on my enjoyment of the series. Maybe it will really impress with its last half. Alrighty guys, you looking for the show with the feels? Something that's so cute you might just puke? Well, come on down to Ishikon Friends, where we ship UPS overnight and make sure all your hearts are filled with all the emotions your body can handle. It had a lot of great characters, a very human feeling and development, and characters that for the most part were really enjoyable, other than Hase. Maybe it's just me, but I just really couldn't handle it. I just really wanted him to stop being such a puss. I don't know, I got really frustrated. Like, I get the sense of what they were going for, that, you make the friend and everyone else starts to become friends with them, and you make that small connection of where you start to feel like you're losing a friend because they're becoming friends with other people. And it was shown really well, but it doesn't stop me from thinking that Hase is a total puss. Maybe it's just me. I just really feel like he should have grown up a little bit, and I feel like he should have manned up and really said what he wanted to. And that's the best part is about Kiryu, who just keeps telling him all the time to quit being such a puss, essentially. So I guess the basic premise of this show is really f***ing boring. There's 12 assassins and a single target in the same class, and it's an all-girls school, so it's basically a Yuri Battle Royale, but it's Yuri and has an all-girl cast. It's so intense, and I just can't even handle how intense this show is. I'm beginning to think that I'm watching too good of anime for myself. But yeah, no, this show isn't very good. Its exposition and pacing are so poorly done. It's really hard to not want to punch yourself repeatedly in the face for turning on another episode.
なかなかのナイスポイントでござる。だろう？ここならスカートの中がバッチリ丸見えだぜ。大きい声出すんじゃないよ。
Okay, so here's another show that's not quite good, but it's so bad. It's actually pretty good. I mean, like Napoleon Dynamite levels of stupidity, but for some reason, it's just an amazing front tail dick mecha anime with penguins and robots essentially powered by pervert power. What could go wrong? Will everybody in the building please give a warm welcome to the Evangelion Unit 5 and its appearance in the first episode of Black Bullet. Seriously though, this show should have been titled Full Metal Lolly, because Edward Elric over here is really starting to bother me. And okay, so small spoilers up to episode 4, because it just pisses me off. I'll put a little picture up here of a cat in the right hand corner until I'm done. So here we go. This is bullshit. Like, for real. Why go through all the trouble of setting up a villain that could be interesting, and then going through the whole process of explaining what the worst possible scenario could be, and that being that level 5 Gastria, and then kill off the villain in pretty much like the stupidest way I could imagine, and then have the level 5 Gastria happen, all in episode 4, with a conclusion. I'm done! Seriously, the rest of this show isn't interesting enough to entertain the most bored person on the planet, and I just can't handle it, and I'm done. Okay. Goku Koku is another example of a terrible show to come out of Studio Arms. I mean, they even had a crippled comic relief character this time. See? I'm funny and edgy and I take myself super serious. It's like an 11-year-old with a briefcase and a cute little cell phone. And it's just like trying to conduct business like it belongs in the stock exchange. Seriously, this show is fucking terrible, and I feel like that's a recurring theme this season. I actually didn't finish this. I couldn't bring myself to waste any more of my time with it. One of the standouts from the season that really took me by surprise and did nothing but impress almost the entire time. It was enjoyable to watch from week to week, with only a few things that really frustrated me here and there. As well with its plethora of enjoyable anime and game-related jokes, the show did a really good job at connecting with most of the audience, and that's a commendable thing. But showing off a lolly's pantsu in the first episode is really unnecessary, and kinda disgusting. I felt like its pacing was fairly good, its ending was fairly weak, and its characters were enjoyable if not one-dimensional and just small rip-offs of Lelouch from Code Geass. Another great standout from the spring season. It's too bad that one of the most enjoyable shows from the season gets mostly overlooked due to its art direction and the fact it's about ping pong. This show is so much fun. It's so easy to watch. I really recommend sitting down and seeing what it has to offer. Okay, so I knew I'd have to get to the show at some point. Well, here goes nothing. I had a lot of faith in this show being really enjoyable, but the more I watched it, the more I realized that this is a really well animated show that's held down by its poor character development. On top of the way, they very poorly introduced characters and then handled their motivations. It's so frustrating to watch. Again, it's like punching yourself in the face and going back for seconds. It's not all shit-covered flowers and poor choices and no. The show itself is for the most part, enjoyable to watch thanks to one particular set of characters, those being Tensai most specifically, and Kanahanaza, I mean, Daru and Nanjugo is just, well, unlikable, and really rather uninteresting, but the show holds its own, and I guess that's commendable. I actually passed on Mushishi, Zoku's show, and that's pretty sad. Straight up, this was probably the funniest short that came out this season, and I thought it was really cute. I hope we get more things like this in the future because this was really enjoyable. It was funny, it was cute, the episode length was perfect. It didn't really take any more time than I think it should have, and that's the best part.
に輝くプレートは
シュシの16
シュシュポポシュシュポポ
シュシュパパこのようにオタ夫婦はアニソンによって結ばれています。
I mean, seriously, what am I even supposed to say about this?
もしかして仮面ライダーのロケ地に来たかっただけなんじゃ。
それが何か。
いえ、いいんです。
Soul Eater not! Let's! Not. Okay, guys, I think I have a feeling how this was pitched in a meeting. Alright, hang on, I got this. Alright guys, everybody loved Code Geass and Oreimo, so I think it's time that we made a show with none of the good qualities that made Code Geass and Oreimo enjoyable. Let's just put it in high school with a class system inside of a class system, just to give our main character some reason for his love-struck Emoto to always be upset and giving us her best Elsa impression. I have about zero faith that this will have any sort of enjoyable conclusion. So yeah, this show still sucks random. Okay, Kaiso got me in on episode 1. And held every second of my attention throughout the entirety of the show. It's like if you took a less pretty version of Garden of Words at times and mixed it with Sakura Sona Pet Nakanojo. The comedic elements are extremely well timed, and the romance aspect plays out with a sense of originality, and has some of the most enjoyable side characters that just added to the overall experience. So let's all cross our fingers and hope for a second season, because I'm really hoping that we get one. So this show's pretty funny. I think you had to really be into this type of humor to really get it and totally enjoy it. Being a short, it has a lot going for it that a lot of other shows didn't have, and that was the fact that they could get away with these kind of quick-witted jokes and cut to black. And I think that they did a good job bringing this to life, and I don't think it was the greatest thing that came out, but I definitely thought it was pretty damn funny. Alright guys, thank you for watching Subs and Dubs Reviews. I'm Brooks. I hope this wasn't a total train wreck. If it was, I apologize. I have a few more things coming out, and I'll be having an update video coming out a little bit after this to give you guys a little better idea of what I'm doing with the channel and what I'm doing moving forward, and then a schedule so you all have a better idea of what I'm actually planning on doing. Feel free, as always, to find me on Twitter so we can chat about really anything, or in the comments. I'm usually always down here responding to everyone's comments. And until next time, you guys,